The Russian Empire was the world's third largest empire to exist. The empire existed from 1721 until liberal revolution in 1917. It stretched over 3 continents. It was at its largest in 1864 when it was 23.7 million square kilometers.
Russia's heritage comes all the way from the Vikings. During Viking raids and conquests, parts of Russia were conquered during which the Viking prince Alaric formed the first state of Russia in the 9th century.
In 1721, after defeating Sweden, Russia gains control of Estonia, Livonia, and Ingria. Tsar Peter I, later known as Peter the Great, is proclaimed as the first emperor of all Russia. In 1772, the first partition of Poland sees almost a third of Poland divided between Prussia, Austria, and Russia. The full partition of Poland was completed by 1795. In 1799, the Russian-American company is founded and begins constructing settlements in North America, particularly in Alaska and California. Before the expansion of the Russian Empire started, Russia was almost entirely landlocked. Sweden and Poland blocked Russia from the Baltic Sea, and Ottoman Turks controlled all the land between Black Sea and the Mediterranean Sea. Peter the Great wanted to break through this landlocked position and acquire warm water ports on the Sea of Azov and the Black Sea. He managed to capture Azov from the Ottomans. Then he turned his attention northwards because he wanted to gain access to the Baltic Sea too. After a long war, Peter finally defeated Sweden in 1709 in the city of Poltava. He acquired the ancient port of Riga and a few years later, in 1712, founded St. Petersburg. After Peter's death, his successors continued to expand Russia in the south. Catherine II was successful in both her Turkish wars in the late 18th century. Now Russia controlled the northern shore of the Black Sea from the Dniester River to Caucasus. It also controlled much of the former Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth.
In 1809, the Finnish War concludes and Sweden cedes Finland to the Russian Empire. In 1853 to 1856, Russia fights France and the British Empire in the Crimean War. Russia is defeated and loses control of its Danube territory. Defeat leads to domestic reform, including Alexander II's 1861 emancipation of the serfs. In 1864 to 1865, a Russian military expedition gains control over much of Central Asia. The city of Tashkent is captured in 1865, and the Knurbania of Turkestan is established in 1867.
In 1866, Russia is at its largest. Its empire had spread out to a massive area of 23.7 million square kilometers. In 1867, Alaska is sold to the United States for $7.2 million, reducing the size of the Russian Empire by 1.5 million square kilometers. In 1899, Russification of Finland begins, reducing Finnish autonomy, and Russian is declared the official language of Finland. The policy meets resistance and weakens Russian control over the territory. Peter the Great was born in 1672 and died in 1725. He ruled Russia from 1682 to 1725. Peter the Great transformed Russia from an isolated kingdom to a transcontinental superpower. He also built St. Petersburg, which he named after himself. It became the capital of Russia in 1711. Tsar Peter I had a violent temper and was capable of great cruelty. He tortured people regularly, including his own son, and later killed him. Peter decided to remodel Russia along Western lines. He reorganized his army along French lines and equipped it with the best European weapons. He then tested his army in a long war with Sweden, which resulted in Russia's gaining territory with access to the Baltic Sea. He also ended Sweden's short-lived role as a great power in Europe.